Huh, so I just came out and claimed my ship again because I had a server crash, but looks like I got the bug that I've seen other people getting where you get a new ship on your, I mean a new skin on your ship. Yeah, I think one of the things that they're going to be adding, one of the upcoming patches eventually is ship customization, so it seems like some of those options have made it into this version as well, just without any control over them. Okay guys, so we're going to be doing some mining today, and I'm going to be doing that around Port Olazar, or like, near Crusader actually, and I'm going to be mining on the moons, and as far as I can tell there's not much difference between them, so it's really just personal preference of which one you want to mine on. And if you mine on Yellow, you can go and drop your stuff off at Grimhex, but I kind of just prefer Port Olazar, so I go here. And then one thing I'd recommend is once you get here, you jump to the other side of the planet just so that you can mine during the daylight, because it's a lot easier than dealing with having to have your light on and everything.
Quantum travel complete.
Alright, so I'm just going to lower my altitude and then we can start scanning and mining. Alright, so if you've never mined before, what you're going to want to do is hit tab and then hold right click and then scan, and then if you're lucky you'll get stuff right away. Some of the time nothing will pop up, that just means you have to keep on moving. And the range on this is pretty good, so you can be flying at a decent pace if you're not getting stuff. Yeah, so once you find stuff you're going to keep scanning, and I think this is going to be fixed in the future because at a certain point it doesn't really show up on the scan anymore, but if you go into mining mode by pressing M, you can scan the rocks that you find.
Scan complete.
Okay, so with the default Prospector, you see the mass of this rock is above 6,000, so I'm not even going to try mining that. And also the minerals that are in it aren't that great. So one tip I have, I'm pretty new to mining as well. I have a little cheat sheet up on my second monitor, but you could just pull that up on your phone. That also has all the values of the ores. And some of them, it depends on how picky you want to be and how much you want to be going back and forth between the station and the moon that you're mining on. I haven't been too picky recently just because I've gotten so many 30Ks that I want to drop off my cargo without getting disconnected and losing it all a ton. But if you wanted to make the most profit, then you'd want to be picky. Alright, so this looks like a pretty decent rock. It's got only 2% of agricium, but agricium is worth a ton, and if we can break it down and get most of that, then that would still be a good amount. Alright, so the way that you mine is the closer you are, the more energy you're going to transfer, and the higher laser throttle is on, the more energy you're going to transfer. And then you want to watch the rock energy level bar and try to get it to that green zone. And a little warning, once you do get it to that green zone, it normally likes to shoot up really quickly, so you're going to have to bring it down by either moving backwards or pulling down your laser power. Yeah, okay, so this is giving us a little warning. Rocks with higher value minerals in them usually are more resistant, so looks like this one's just not going to work with the default mining head. You can upgrade your mining head to another one, but I haven't wanted to mess around with that since this is a rental, and I've heard of people losing the mining heads, which are pretty expensive. Alright, so nothing I've found so far is that great, but I'll be back once I find a decent rock. Alright, so I found a rock here with Bexlite in it, which according to my chart is the most valuable, besides Quantanium, of course. So we're going to see if we can mine this one. Yeah, so with bigger rocks like these, you're going to want to get as close as possible just to give yourself the chance to have enough energy to break them. And it looks like this one's going to go up slowly. We'll see though. You can try to play with it, because the tiny differences in distance do make a big difference. But if you get close enough to where you can't see the sparks flying, like just there, you're going to want to either move to a different spot on the rock or back it off a little bit. And yeah, see, sometimes if you're not getting above 1 or 2%, then you're probably not going to be able to break the rock. But if it goes up slowly, there's still a chance if you can find the perfect spot where you're as close as you possibly can be. And like I said, once you get to that green zone, the energy level will go up really fast, just because that's how it is. Alright, so we're about to make it to the green zone, and you see, oh shoot, as soon as you get there, there's a chance that it'll start increasing really rapidly. So I'm just trying to keep it into that green zone because it's only fracturing once it's in there. Yeah, this rock is like just on the edge of what we can actually mine with this laser head, so it's quite the pain. And you can see on the right the little bar with the fracturing sensor, and this is actually going up. Okay, and then since this rock was so big, I don't even really have to back off the power or the laser or the distance to the rock at all. But so I'll have a better demonstration of that if I find a different rock. And now you have these medium-sized rocks, which you usually get if you're mining something that's above like 2,000. And then you're going to want to find the ones with the best percentages of the other stuff. So this one's only 2% Bexlite. Since it's now a small rock, that one's really not. I mean, it's probably still worth mining because Bexlite is worth so much. But it all depends on how picky you are.
Scan complete. Front collision.
Okay, so and I guess this one is the size. It's right under the threshold to where if I break it again, it wouldn't break into smaller pieces, it would just break. Because you can see with this one, I have the different bars on the rock energy level, whereas this one, it's just, there's nothing showing up there, so I'm pretty sure it would disappear. So even though I'm going to get a lot of inert materials, I'm going to go ahead and right-click to switch to its extraction mode and go ahead and extract this one. Because, like I said, I'm not going for maximum efficiency in terms of what I put in my cargo hold. I'm just trying to make some money because there's been so many glitches and 30Ks today that I just want to get something out of this miner that I rented.
Scan complete.
See, so this one's inert materials, so we're not even going to want to touch that one anymore.
Front collision.
Okay, this one is smaller, so it'll probably let you see what I'm talking about how the rock energy level can really get away from you quickly if you're not careful. See, so it's shooting up there, and you can either back it off by moving away or turning down your laser power. And that was quite the response. That usually does not happen. But if it's not working, just turn it all the way down and go very far away. And hopefully you'll be able to break it just fine. Yeah, and as you can see in the top right, my shield took quite a bit of damage from that, even though I was so far away. So one thing you can do is set your forward shield to have more preference over the other ones, because you're not really going to be hitting the back while mining. And then again, even though this is a 12% Bexlite, it's still going to be okay.
Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
And I'm really only taking this in such low percentages because it's Bexlite. If it were something else, I'd be more picky.
Entering mode on. Front collision.
Alright, so that was a better demonstration of how to keep the levels in check. And again, don't be worried about nosing into the red zone, but as long as you're just pretty careful and ready to back away if it gets way too bad,
Scan complete.
you should be okay.
Extraction mode on. Scan initiated.
Yeah, so it seems to me like there's quite a bit of luck involved with this, because as you can see,
Scan
there was
complete.
a decent amount of Bexlite in that original rock, but it seemed to break off into a lot of the other smaller chunks, and we haven't really gotten a clean supply of it, like without the inert materials.
Deck collision.
Alright, so it looks like we got everything good out of that rock, so I'm gonna move on, see if we can find some other stuff. And it looks like our next find is over here. And again, if you're not finding them as frequently as me, like this is pretty lucky, I think, at least in terms of my past experiences. Just kind of fly above the surface and scan as frequently as you can. Yeah, and look around your HUD, because you can see that kind of popped up behind me. So it is possible you could be missing them. So just be careful. Make sure you're watching. Oh, so one thing I forgot that might have been useful on that first rock that we were having trouble with is you can overclock specific things. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit that button on the mining laser, and that should give it a tad bit more power at least. Maybe help with some of the bigger rocks. Alright, so I had a few issues there, but I'm back with another load, and I was about the same level of picky, so should be worth about the same. This time I found more diamond though, which is one of the mid-tier ones. Alright, let's see how much everything is worth. About 15,000, and you can see still got a decent number of inert materials, so I wasn't that picky with this run. I did try to switch out the mining laser on this, but here, wait a minute, I'll go ahead and store it just so that you guys can see that it's not just because it's not stored. So
Join the ship share program today and fly together.
okay, it's now stored. And see, I still can't change.
This station has been designated.
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like I can actually change it. Okay, so just to finish this one up, I'm going to give my opinion on mining. So if you're renting a Prospector, I don't know that it's that worth it, just because 40,000 for one day, you're going to have to do a lot of mining to make that up and make it worth it, especially overdoing missions. Also, the fact that you can't change out the mining laser really limits what you can mine. So I had problems pretty much with anything above 4,000 in size, and even some 4,000 sized rocks were impossible to mine, especially the ones with agricium or other high value ores. And then also it was a pain to mine Quantanium with this. I think I included a clip of me failing at doing so. So it's not for me. If you really want to try mining, you'll probably make some money, but I think overall you'd be better suited doing some missions. Alright, well, thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped you, and if it did, make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time. So I wanted to include this clip because asteroid mining is one of the new things that they added, and it seems like it has the potential to be pretty profitable, but I haven't had very much luck with it myself. So as you can see, I'm at CRU L1 right now, just because I wanted to try it out, and it's pretty close to Port Olazar. And so it's very similar to mining on the ground. You still do the thing with the scanning, and then you find the box, and hopefully you find the asteroid within it. So you'll see that in a second. Yeah, so there's the box, and then you go search inside of it and find the asteroid that has the minerals that you can mine. So you can see 2 of them popped up. Those are 2 asteroids that I could possibly mine. And then the mining itself is the exact same as it would be on the surface.
Scan complete. Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try this one just because it has a good percentage of tungsten. Okay, so it took forever to get into the braking zone, but it's finally starting to break. This is another example of why the stock laser is pretty bad, and how that limits your mining ability, because this one's only a size 5000 rock. But then, as you see, when it breaks, it looks like it worked correctly, but in a few seconds,
Shields charge complete.
there they all go. It's all gone. And that's happened, I've tried that quite a few times, and I've never been able to actually collect anything because it all just disappears as soon as you break it. So once they fix it, it might be an option, but for now, I wouldn't even recommend trying it.
Scan initiated. Installed for collision. Scan complete.